My daughter Jada just found this recipe online for Pop-Tarts and she wanted me to try it. I'm just going to do half the recipe though, because if I mess up, I'm going to lose a lot of ingredients. So I've started with half cup or 1 stick of butter, quarter cup of dark brown sugar, and an eighth cup of powdered sugar. An eighth cup is the same as 2 tablespoons, all right? So my butter wasn't softened enough because she kind of sprung this on me, but we're almost done creaming it. So the full recipe calls for a whole egg, but I'm just going to do half an egg, not because I want to be stingy with the egg, but because I'm afraid if I put the whole egg, I might mess up the whole thing, all right? So this is a cup and a half of all-purpose flour and some cinnamon. And now I'm adding the dry ingredients to the cream mixture in 2 halves and mixing well with the hand mixer. In a little while, it's going to look like beach sand like this. Don't panic, guys. We're going to pull this together, okay? So just use your hand to go ahead and make sure everything clings. And it looks like quite a bit of dough, but it's really small. I'm going to go ahead and cut it in two because we need a top and a bottom. Okay, I'm going to use this parchment paper with a little bit of flour to go ahead and flatten this as thin as I can go. And then just transfer it onto this baking sheet. This baking sheet is small too. It can go into a toaster oven. Let's set this aside. I cut off the excess and I set it aside because I'm going to make a small one from it, okay? This is the filling. 3/4 cup of brown sugar, some cinnamon, all-purpose flour, and melted butter. The cinnamon is half a teaspoon, the all-purpose flour is a tablespoon, and the butter is a tablespoon, and the brown sugar is 3/4 of a cup, okay? Let me light the oven to 350, and then mix, and then pour it on top. I'm not going to use the whole thing because I want to use some of this filling to make this again, but with pie dough instead of a shortbread dough like this. Let me cut off the excess again. I'm going to use all this excess to make an individual tiny one, okay? Now, in hindsight, I should have pricked this with a fork because look, it formed a bubble. I baked it for 40 minutes, by the way, guys, at 350. I'm just not going to touch it, all right? Let the bubbles sit. So half cup of powdered sugar, some cinnamon, some vanilla, half a teaspoon of each, and then a tablespoon of milk. And we have our glaze. I'm glazing the individual one. And then Jada's gonna taste. I think she likes it. The puppy wants some. The ones in the front is what I just made, and the ones in the back you're gonna see in a future video, all right?